Hi, I'm business futurist Jonathan Brill. This is the most exciting keynote I've ever given. We've done something incredibly special for you to explore the future of work, the opportunities that AI creates, and how to lead in a radically changed world. Autonomy means doing the work you should and letting AI do the rest. The thing that is blowing my mind is when I talk to CIOs, when I talk to CTOs, and I say that our best AI tools today will cost about 100,000th as much in just a few years, that they don't blink. Between now and 2030, AI is likely to get 32 times better. What does this mean for human performance? Usain Bolt is the fastest human in history. And he can go faster than a wombat for about 3 seconds. If you make him 32 times faster, he breaks the sound barrier. He's in a rocket ship going around the world 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, non-stop. In the next few months, we're likely to see AI that is better at abstract problem solving than your average human. Task by task by task by task. AI is likely to get better at things we do. For a long time, it will be a jagged frontier. What does it mean to have an intern who, with AI, might be 32 times smarter than Einstein? How do you manage? How do you lead? Where will you use these tools to optimize? And how will we reinvent?
AI is supercharging IT and support careers. Sure, AI might solve password resets for you, but it's creating more code, more connectivity, more complexity. As a result, the edge cases are exploding.
The reality is that the way we have worked to date will not be successful in this radically changed world. The challenge I have when I speak with managers is some of them are bought in, and some of them, they just don't get it. It's what I call the 1% problem. As of July of this year, only 1% of AI users had worked with the more advanced models. The challenge is that frontier AI systems have increased in quality of output by 7 times in the last year. If you aren't using them, you aren't seeing what's possible. And that's just what's in the marketplace, not what's in research labs. I help run a lab called Deep Invent, and we're building tools to automate the invention process so that your mom can identify a problem, work with this tool to figure out what the market opportunity would be, do research into all of the science, into all of the patents that have ever been written, and then automatically, by pressing a button, write her own. Processes like this will be in every single business workflow, every single business function in the next couple of years. And people are legitimately concerned about what this means.
More complexity, more threats, more risks. Smart companies aren't automating IT to decrease labor. It's because we're about to be overwhelmed by menial tasks. Autonomy means choosing the work that humans should do and letting AI do the rest. IT jobs, they won't decrease, but the tasks you do, they'll be reinvented.
I don't think that jobs are going away. I think it will create more opportunities. Take the truck driver, for instance. We've been trying to get things from one place to another for millennia. And when we went away from horses, the job of the stagecoach driver turned out not to be to turn the horse. It turned out to be to protect the cargo, to protect the people, to deal with the edge cases. There are concerns that truck drivers are going away. But the reality is that the problem that they solve doesn't change, and it doesn't get solved by AI. In fact, the number of edge cases will only increase as we move forward. In a couple of years, on their phone, your average intern will have tools that make them a better decision maker than a senior partner at McKinsey, that give them understanding of all of the information across the organization, across the industry that's going on as they make decisions. And they will have tools in their pocket to simulate the impact of those decisions across the company, across the industry, across time. The same kinds of tools that are only available to nation states today. For me, it's hard to get my mind around this scale of change. Let's imagine a scenario. All of the printer labels across your entire organization start getting printed haywire. Your junior people don't know how to think about the business impact. They don't understand how to deal with the political impact, even though they might be able to solve the technology problem. In a couple of years, they'll have tools in their pocket that are able to help them think through these things. They'll make your people super intelligent. How do you think about this? Start by thinking about what are the things humans can't do that limit your organization? What are the things that humans shouldn't do? I know that a third of your work today is repeated tasks that are just hard to automate right now. And then what are the things that we won't do? Because either they're too annoying or because at $40 an hour, they don't make sense. But at 4 cents an hour, it would be a no-brainer. AI is changing the way that we work. It is about to change the way that we organize. We've been organizing our firms the same way for the last 170 years now, since we published the first organizational chart. A big brain on top and a nervous system that tells everything else what to do. We need a new metaphor. Consider the octopus. Its nervous system goes from the bottom of the octopus all the way to the top. Each tentacle is out there exploring, creating, innovating, finding out about the world. Instead of operating from the top down, it operates from the tentacles back, going out, looking around, seeing what's possible. And then the tentacles work together to decide what they're going to do. All of a sudden, moving from random explorations, all in the same direction, all at once. In the world of artificial intelligence, an agent, when it discovers something, can communicate with other AIs, with other people in your organization, exactly what they need to know to move the innovation forward. How are you going to experiment? How are you going to explore? If you want to create an octopus organization, the first step is to figure out what is really most important for management to lead, and then figure out how you're going to let everybody else do the rest. You need to give them context, not just to innovate for what they do, but for the entire organization to understand the larger impacts of what they do. The third piece is to develop risk bands. Explain to each and every person in your organization, incentivize each and every person in your organization around the least and the most amount of risk or innovation you want them to take before giving you a phone call. When you equip your teams to work at this new speed of knowledge, they'll reinvent your firm for you. We're just getting through this idea that every company is a software company. But in the world of artificial intelligence, every company is the software. We aren't putting AI on the org chart. We're using AI to replace the org chart. AI suddenly gives leaders in the firm deep visibility into what's going on below so that they can give up control while maintaining command. At the same time, it gives junior people in the organization superpowers to make really complex decisions that they never would have before. While a junior leader might not ever manage 1,000 people, in the next couple of years, they'll be managing 1,000 bots, processes of the complexity of senior leaders today. And so they need to develop senior leadership skills much earlier in their careers. And in this is the real tension of the Octopus organization, of thriving in the age of AI. Senior people won't want to give up control, and junior people will know that they have the technical competencies to make decisions and yet not be given the call. Because in the middle, there is a human development curve. Through the painful experiences in life, maybe it's raising a troubled child, maybe it's a parent going through disease, maybe it's a divorce. We learn to step back, explore, understand our relationship to the situation in front of us. And in that is the ability to make wise decisions, the types of decisions for which there are not yet data. We need to figure out as leaders, as organizations, how we are going to teach our people these skills faster, how we might use AI to teach our people these skills earlier in their careers. Because at the rate of business today, we don't have time to wait for life to catch up to business. We know how to build the new nervous system for our organization. The next question is how to build a culture that can thrive, how to give it heart. It turns out that some leaders are dramatically more successful in times of change than others. So we did a study with the Harrison assessment to understand why. There are 4 characteristics that cause some leaders to be more successful in times of uncertainty than others. Skills that you can embed in your family, your community, your business, your life, your career today to consistently have better outcomes when the world changes. Would you like a little more luck in your life? The first and most important competency is to leverage help. Strategically lucky leaders ask for dramatically more help from their peers than their peers. As a manager, how can you create the type of psychological safety that is required to ask for help in times of disruption, in times of vulnerability? The first thing is obviously to model it yourself in front of your peers, with your peers. The second thing is to set that expectation in your organization that asking for help is critical. The third is to challenge people. Ask, hey, what is it that you don't know that I need to? What is it that you can't answer that the rest of us might be able to help with? By setting the expectation that there is something you need help with, there is something we don't know, you set the expectation that a smart person would ask for help. The second thing that they do is they create a lot more unexpected connections. They have broader socioeconomic networks, and they have broader networks across industries. And so more opportunities tend to come to them, but also when they have questions, they have more people they can ask for answers or opinions from. When you ask for a lot more help and you have a lot more opportunity and ways to solve problems, you end up with more potential, more things that happen in your business, in your family, in your life that you often aren't yet ready for. So they need different ways to control the chaos, to think about new situations, new risks, things that might go wrong. And it turns out that in new situations, standard operating procedures, historic ways of doing the work, they don't necessarily work. And so strategically lucky leaders control chaos through first principles, thinking about what is different about this situation, how would I manage this specific situation instead of the ones that have happened before. When you leverage help and unexpected connections, you control the chaos. You walk into new situations in a different way because you're comfortable that pretty much everything can work out. Instead of doing what most managers do, which is getting in there and asking what's the first problem, strategically lucky leaders step back. They look around at the situation. They find the points of leverage no one else is touching. Because what they understand is that when the game changes, you can rewrite the rules. And in times of disruption, that is the great opportunity. Because no one else is looking. So when you leverage help and unexpected connections, when you control chaos and you know what's missing, you have a really simple way to dramatically increase the luck on your team, the luck in your family, the luck in your life. AI is freeing all of us to do more of the work that we should. The challenge isn't job security. There is so much to be done. We all have autonomy to create the future that we want. I am curious to see the job that you invent.